Yeah, he got married.
Yeah, Daniel is a lot of.
Thanks.
Okay.
8576309.
So we're all over here
Okay.
together. We got married in June of '69. We left in Danville all the final year.
Welcome to WebEx. Enter your access code or meeting number followed by pound.
So Gio's not gonna be here?
Enter your attendee ID number followed by pound. If you are the first person to join the meeting, please stand by.
Well, you can participate from home. Or the computer of your choice.
All right.
We can start our pre-meeting. I jinxed us already, so I'll jinx us again and say that this should be smoother and quicker and all of that than last month. But case number 1 is Brian Ramirez, administrative office from home remodeling business. Hope you had a little bit of trouble on the questionnaire, but he's modified those. Typical questions about inventory and supplies and
Employees and signs.
all that good stuff. I don't have that piece of paper. Talked about all of it. Yeah, I do. All right, anybody see anything on case number 1? Case number 2, Yolanda Mullen. Home primarily to sell online goods. Home office only. I guess we need her to clarify primarily. The questions all look good. Anything inventory and storage and how she lives and how she gets her goods. Number 3, Cordell Clay. 1 room for his office for his fencing business. Nancy, did we tell him it's not at Turner Searles? Because I noticed somebody marked it on his.
Yeah, I call, everybody got a letter or a call.
Homeowner's a different person, so we'll check on that. Again, same inventory, supplies, equipment. Typical questions.
Surplus. And surplus supplies we might have, the fencing equipment. What he's gonna do with that, where it'll be stored.
All right, case number 4, Timothy Cunningham or Conningham. One is different. 1 room for his lawn care business. We'll be asking the same questions a couple
Yeah,
of
we
times.
usually ask about gasoline on lawn care.
Yeah, storage. Yeah. It's typically not much, because a 5-gallon gas can would fill you up for.
I've got more than that in my house.
That's where he's gonna store his equipment, his trailer and that kind of thing. All right, case number 5, administrative office boutique clothing. I'm not even gonna try her name.
Deatra.
Deandra, that's exactly what it looks like. I should have tried it. Owner's different, check on that. Same questions. Case number 6. Cecilia Rodriguez put an above-ground swimming pool in the side yard. And the rules say the backyard, but I don't know if y'all were in here when Bob was talking about why this person needs a side yard is they really don't have anywhere else for it to go. That patio takes up, the backyard, and I think he sits pretty far back from the front.
Yes, plus a 30-foot off of Sandlin, 35-foot off Sandlin, and 35-foot off of Bill Mead. He's got a double front yard setback. And you can see on the survey, barely sketched in there, that's where there's a little building back there. It was built a while ago.
Where is the, looking, I'm trying to find the street part of this right here. Or is this just, I
On
guess?
page 46,
Yes, sir. 46, I see the, so it's a driveway that you pull into the back of the garage or whatever?
Yeah, you pull in off of Sandlin,
that's Sandlin Road.
right there across from the ball fields.
Okay. Okay, so pull in from Gus Sandlin, come into this, he comes into his backyard. His house is facing, is it,
Two streets.
that must be.
Where the old house was facing more Bellmead, and then they built a big addition right there where it says garage, and that faces Sandlin.
Driveway's on Sandlin, front door's on Bellmead.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I don't know, I always go with that door off the south. Every time I go over there, I go to the one on on Sandlin Road.
Oh, okay, oh, now,
See, now, if that was the case though, then the pool would be in the backyard.
okay, so now I'm
If it
trying,
has a new front door.
Well, it's addressed off of Bellmead though.
Address is going
okay, question for you then.
Mm-hmm.
With the pool being there, what, are we concerned about fencing and things like that? Is that something that, others are concerned about?
We can address that in the building code addresses it. And so, what I understand is gonna be an above-ground pool, so.
Okay.
Well, above-ground pools are different than in-ground pools.
Understood.
They can be 48-inch tall walls,
Mm-hmm,
and they don't need a fence around them, as long as you have 48. Once you add a deck around it, then you get into how do you get up on the deck? And there's some requirements for that, to
Okay.
keep toddlers out.
sure, well, when I saw this, I was thinking in-ground pool, okay?
Yeah, it's
Now
gonna be
you
a-
shared this above-ground pool. that
Yeah,
means we
I think it's
can
gonna
tear down.
be that model right there.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty nice, that's all.
Yeah, that is
It
a
is
nice
nice.
pool.
It's pretty nice.
That's a nice pool, nice deck, too.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got a nice patio
Yeah,
and everything already in his backyard.
sounds like he's gonna have a good.
Yeah, you can tell they do a lot of stone work.
to, yeah. I
I think these families into the stoneworking end of it all.
That area between the garage and the existing residence, I think we granted a variance there.
We did.
sometime A few years ago.
That right there where the garage is,
Oh, I
hangs
see,
over.
it's over, it's beyond the building line.
Yeah, see, it's got a 40-foot rear yard setback.
Right, right.
Is the white building on page 48, is that another house?
That's the next door
That's the
neighbor's house.
So really, they would be the ones to come and complain,
I
if
guess,
they had a problem with it.
I guess.
Okay.
The only problem I have is this is, to me, it's a case of where he has a residence and built a patio and he built maybe an accessory building. And because of what he's done, he now only has one spot left to build a pool. Should we hold him to build in his backyard and have him give up something else? I mean, he's put himself in this position. I guess that's my question.
Well, and that goes, I think that this is a appeal of administrative decision, so it's not just does it fit the neighborhood and be all right. We got to show that, y'all have to believe that the decision was wrong, or there was a significant enough hardship to overcome what it is.
Well, I'm just thinking he created the hardship by building the patio and
And I'm not taking for the position, but that, I mean, if you look, and I think there's somebody coming to complain, the difference, the space between the Bellmead, the 402, and the house next door, that length right there is probably the shortest location, because the bedroom, and bathroom stick on to that spot, and so that's, I don't know how big a pool, but I can see where, it may be perfectly okay, but the next door neighbor definitely gonna notice somebody swimming that close. right?
yeah.
And you made a good point a minute ago. And you gotta you might wanna think of it this way as well.
Okay.
Is that if that house
Yeah,
was addressed off of Sandlin Road,
right. It's in the backyard.
it's in the backyard.
Yeah. But it's not addressed.
But it's not.
But it's
But
consideration.
even still,
It's a consideration.
it's
Yeah.
it's just a matter of which way would you want to address the house, off of Sandlin and off of Bellmead. Now, they set those up as rear yards, front yard. The rear yard is obviously established by that 40-foot rear yard. That's how they platted it out. you know,
Mhm,
and 30,
mhm. Or it'll be over
yeah.
here.
So, the side yard is at 5 foot. So,
And it looks
or
like
8 foot
this
rather.
patio is definitely bigger than it is on this, survey.
Yeah, it
whole
they
back
hadn't
of
got
the
it drawn
house.
in there, everything. I think they just put that in there for when the house was there.
What is that, side setback?
Yeah, it's 8 foot,
Well, that's what he has, but what's required?
8 foot.
Well, does the deck get involved?
No, the accessory structures, once you move away more than 5 feet away from the house, they can be 5 feet on the sides and 5 feet on the rear.
But does the deck get included in that?
Yeah, they're just
He's only got
accessory.
4 feet.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just it, decks, or, no, well, I don't know. That's just- He's gotta keep the whole thing out of the,
He says he's got an 8-foot.
yeah, he's gotta keep the whole thing
4 foot.
5 foot away,
deck.
yeah. He's gotta keep the whole pool and deck and all, it's gotta be more than 5, it's gotta be 5 foot.
Okay, well, he's only got 4.
Right. Well, that is if his measurements right.
Yeah, right.
just
And you
sketched that
said the
in.
fence might be, well, yeah.
I mean, if you're showing this, it doesn't say how wide that pool is, does it?
Yeah, 15 by 30 with a 4-foot deck, so 23 feet across.
He's got 33 feet to the fence.
He says, I have assured the pool will be 10 feet from my house and 8 feet from the fence.
Yeah, he might have to move it a little closer to the house.
I will install a 4-foot deck around the pool, so
Yeah.
it only leaves 4 foot.
Yeah, it's gotta be at least 5.
Okay.
It's gotta be 5 feet from the fence,
From the property line.
Building line,
from the property.
from the building line.
No, not from the building line.
Okay, that's the point.
The building line is,
the
that's how far the
structure.
house could be built over to.
Okay, so that's, yeah,
Yeah.
well, he's more than 5 feet then,
Right.
from the, yeah. Okay, not a consideration.
Any other questions on that one? So there really is nowhere else he can't go.
Unless he tears down the house.
Builds a smaller pool, I guess. You know, he could get it, and it's hard, the picture he sent, like, where that little half round is, so, right there where the little gutter comes down, on this picture here, you see it right there, that's the rear corner of the house.
Right.
So that would be, everything that way would be considered to be in the rear yard. So he would have to build it in, get it into this little area right here. You'd have to get a pool in that. And he's got like a lot of side yard that runs up to the front edge of the house. So, but basically, if you're just looking in, I wish I had an overhead shot. I wonder if I do. Let's see if we do.
I guess the next, just staying with what you've presented here, and with what with what I think I am noticing here, the person's house that's next door, that rear window, I guess if that's a bedroom or what have you, the noise is going to be for late night pool parties and stuff like that is gonna be an issue for that particular neighbor. And because and I take it that the neighbor's regular backyard is going the other way, so I was gonna bring up the question about a fence. A moment ago, you shared that there was a fence 8 foot off of the fence, but isn't that just 8 feet off of the property line? Because I do not see a fence in this photograph.
Yeah,
There's a chain link. It has
I
like
do
an
not
ivy
see it.
growing on top.
See where all the bushes are?
under that bedroom window you were talking about?
Yes, yeah, but that fence stops before that little crepe myrtle tree, doesn't it? Which means, well, is it fair to then think that the blue outline is the pool itself? Because sooner or later, they're gonna need to add some kind of,
Oh, no, I wouldn't lay any validity to that little
Okay.
drawing right there being accurate.
okay, well, with that being said, I've heard you share that there's not a requirement for a fence because it is an above-ground pool.
There's not a requirement, but it can, he probably would install one.
Sure. It's not a requirement, but he can or he cannot.
Yeah.
And if he chooses not to, that's his decision. And there are no requirements for him to go and build something for privacy and come up with some big tall fence or whatever that the neighbors have. Because I'm just looking at that neighbor's back window, if that's a back bedroom, that's gonna be a lot of noise for them.
There'll be at least an 8-foot fence, well, an 8-foot tall structure. The pool will be probably 3 to 4 feet deep anyway, wouldn't it?
No, it's gonna be at least 4 feet.
So it's gonna be 4 feet, and you're gonna build a 4-foot fence? No,
I wouldn't say that's 4, that's 7, at most it'll be 3 foot.
okay,
So it'd be 7 foot to the top of the,
yeah.
So we're talking, okay, so it's gonna be a 7-foot structure next to this person's house.
Right.
It's sure gonna dwarf that person's house, because that doesn't look no more than like a 10, 12-foot, what?
probably 10 foot to the eve.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a tall something set next to someone. If it was me, some people don't like that, but it's not my concern. Okay.
Case number 7, Thomas Strong?
Wrong.
Strong. Energize his garage so he can maintain property. I said he means he wants to run electrical.
What he's got is he's got an existing, there has a house that was there that burned and, tore down, they tore down the house. And so there's a storage garage, detached garage back there that doesn't have any power on it. He's wanting to turn the power back on to the house now, where basically he could use that for storage. Well, storage isn't a use permitted in a residential district without a main structure there,
Right.
main residential structure. So that's what he's asking for, is to be able basically to use that, not necessarily for power, but he's being asked to use that building outside of having a main residential structure there as a
Have
storage
accessory
building.
structure without a main structure.
Right, he's using it for storage,
Are you showing, is this?
This isn't it. This isn't it, that I'm working on,
Oh,
looking
okay,
at that
'cause
other.
I'm looking at this and your words are not matching that picture.
But if the garage is already there, isn't there already a structure without a house?
Yes, they tore the house
It's just
down.
whether or not he has stuff in it.
Whether he's using it, yes, correct.
Okay,
So what is he gonna use it for? He's gonna use it to put stuff in.
Right.
What's he putting in it?
I mean, it says things to maintain the property
let's,
until he builds another house.
So, and really, we've done it, and I'm not saying it's a good policy. What we've done is we've allowed people to put separate meters on their garages from their home instead of running the power from their home to their garage. And so sometimes that'll turn into something else later on. That's why I always thought it was a bad policy to do that. But it's not on me to say to do anything. I can't change that, but. So the question is how do we, I guess with y'all, if you decide to allow him to use the building without the main structure on it, how do you keep it from developing into something other than what it's, just a storage for lawnmower and such? Is there opportunity for it to create something different going on?
a grandmama,
Or whatever.
like
Well, not just-
mother-in-law, whatever you.
Well, I
wanna
mean,
call
but
it.
there's no
house on
there's
it.
no house there. I mean, say it turned into a mechanic shop or it just turned into something else.
So, to get a better understanding of this, you're sharing with us that there was a house at 1116 Way Through the Woods, and the house has now been
No.
removed.
Different location.
Yeah, it's in Flint.
Haymaker.
Have you
He lives
found
in-
it yet?
Okay, so I see the applicant, I see the mailing address, property owner right there. So
Down one more.
there are, so 1, 2, 3 Haymaker in Flint, Alabama
Right.
is where this property is then, is what you're showing.
Right, right.
Oh, I thought it was in the middle of the city. Okay, so we're out in a rural area.
Well,
Well, Flint's part of Decatur now.
No, yeah, we're taking over. Okay. And the house was there, the house is now burned or gone, and then there was a garage there. Is this garage a main structure or is this a prefabricated structure?
it was a stick-built garage, I believe. Let me see if I can get over to it.
Okay, so while you are doing that, and we don't have any idea of the size of the structure,
Oh, yeah, we'll get, I'll show you here in a minute.
because I think the points that you're bringing up of, once it's a metered and once you got power on it, then it can grow into something.
This is it right here. You can see where the old house was.
Okay, I see.
Here's the garage.
Good sized dwellings there,
Yeah, big enough to be a nice apartment.
to develop it into a house.
See if I can get a street view. There you go.
Oh, nice garage. But if he's using it for what he says he's using it for, and I guess
It
if
certainly
we
makes sense.
found he wasn't, then he loses
Yeah,
the
you,
right to have power to it, correct?
Yeah, we
Just
can.
like any other
no
thing we
one,
agree.
Well, I mean, the, whether it has power or not on it is, yeah, I mean, he could, you know, he may be using it for something now since he owns it. He may be using it to store some stuff in. But putting the power on it is part of, I guess, you know, if it turns into something else, we can pull the power off. But it'd still be there.
but for someone to live in it, they must get a certificate of occupancy, correct?
Right,
And it has no
typically.
plumbing, no,
Excellent point on tip.
Yeah,
Excellent point.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, if somebody wanted to turn it into a residence,
Mm-hmm.
well, one, it would already be out of conforming anyway to be used as a residence because of where it's located, because it's not where the main house is. Yeah, mind you, all this was not in Decatur when it was built, so
Okay.
it's not gonna meet any zoning ordinance anyway.
I don't have any concerns anymore.
So,
Thanks.
so I mean, yeah, I mean, we could put power on it, and if it turned into something, we could have it turned off. It may have already had some power on it, because that looks like a meter box right there. An old underground service.
Yeah.
It may be where it came from the house, but that looks suspiciously like a old 100 amp service. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like.
what I read and what I do realize that people don't always tell, but if he's truly wanting to use it to keep the property maintained, I think it's a good idea to let him put his mowers and all of that in it.
Well, the question is, does it already have a meter?
No, it doesn't. There's
So
nothing
are we
on it.
approving the electricity or are we approving the use as a storage?
You're proving the use as a storage. At that point, we could turn power back onto it. He'd have to get a permit.
Kind of different than his application.
Well, that's his intent. Well, basically, to deny turning power on it because we wouldn't allow him to use the building officially,
Okay.
be able to use the building. So he's got to have approval from y'all to officially use that accessory structure on the lot without a main structure.
Without a main structure.
Right.
Can you, somebody read the last three words on his description? I'm not able to make that. Just what?
I thought it was,
it says, oh, yeah,
Nice, maybe.
okay, open nice, maybe, yeah, thank you.
So what I read is he wants to store equipment out there to use on the property, is what I read on this piece of
You may
paper.
need electricity to keep some batteries charged for
Have an alarm,
Something, or an alarm, yeah.
something. Reading the paper.
Okay.
Or maybe we can ask them, why do you need electricity just to store lawn equipment?
When he returns at night, it's dark.
Yeah.
And-
So we can see.
Yeah, well, if you've been, those people in lawn service, you know, it's 8 o'clock and they're getting in and it's dark in there.
All right.
Well, mind you, anything that he uses it for, storage-wise or otherwise, it's just for this. It couldn't be for
For
some
business,
other
right,
business.
you can't have a lawn service out
Yeah,
there.
you can't use
He
it
could
for,
store lawn equipment to mow this property, so he's not having to haul it back and forth from
yeah, or he could use it to store his own personal property.
Yeah,
Just-
storage, any kind of storage.
Yeah, but he can't run a business out of it.
Right.
He couldn't run a business out of it even with a home occupation, because there's no home there.
He cannot run a business, his address cannot be there in Flint, but he certainly can store his stuff there.
Right, you just can't run a business out of it.
Right. Well, he's running a business out of 1116.
Right.
Make sure the bulk is in there.
Yeah, way through the woods.
Way through the woods.
All right.
All right.
All right, case number 8, looking for a 5-foot rear yard variance. May add on to their master bathroom to make it handicap accessible.
There was no survey or anything to indicate placement of the house.
No, it's gonna be on the rear of the, I had to call and ask that. We never did get a survey, did we, Judy? Nancy? We never did get a survey or anything on this, did we?
It doesn't show where the bathroom is located.
It's at the rear of the home. I made a phone call to somebody one day, just see if I can do Google again.
They didn't say it on this paper, so. Sleepy dog. Where's your-
There's a long fella. Got it. Jamie. Is it? Is it that home? I think so.
Go back out just a little, and I'll tell you.
Back to PowerPoint.
Because mine's one of those with the pool.
32, so it's 4 houses down there. One, two, three, four. So this one right here. So it'll be, it's going, I think it's going to be right here. They're going to come, add to this back right here, this 5 feet. I believe this is the bedroom.
It looks like it. If it's gonna add 5 feet, it's not gonna be any further back than the house to the.
No,
left.
this one right here's got a, is it, sticks out that far?
Right.
That may have had a variance too.
Mhm.
That one sticks out a little bit. So I don't think it would change the character,
Right.
or would it set back any further than this one? Just to add a bathroom.
And they need a,
I'm not real sure how they came up with 5 feet, but that's all they're asking for.
Well, they're making addition to their bathrooms. It sounds like they're making their bathroom bigger, not adding a whole new bathroom.
wheelchair.
Right, they're just adjusting it. Yeah,
Just adding on to it.
yeah.
That may be all it takes to put in a wheel-in shower or
Yeah.
She asked me if I can just basically say, just adding on instead of not mentioning the handicap part.
Understood.
Guys, as you move, we have yellow tags on certain chairs, just so we can all stay separated.
Just glad Google Maps has been updated and my pool doesn't look like a swamp anymore on there.
Oh. Well, this was, 2020. Well,
I was gonna say from a while ago.
it'll tell you when the picture was taken somewhere. I thought it would. Map data 2020. But it didn't have that over on Sandlin. That never, it did on the street view, but it not on the, aerial.
All right, that's all our cases. Anybody have any questions or anything else we need to discuss on them? Then we have a few minutes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it does, right.
4 o'clock. The Board of Zoning Adjustments of the City of Decatur is now in session. You are before the Board of Zoning Adjustments today seeking special consideration to an ordinance based on special conditions or the literal enforcement of an ordinance will result in an unnecessary hardship for you, or there's been an error in the enforcement of the ordinance. It will require 4 favorable votes from the board to approve any request presented today. Please come forward when your name is called and state your name and address and what you want this board to do. All cases will be called in the docketed order. After your case has been heard and decided, you're free to leave. Please call the roll.
Charles Taylor,
Here.
Carl Stevens,
Yeah.
Susanna Salcido,
Here.
Elaine Dean,
Here.
Stephen Thomas.
Here.
Are there any corrections to the minutes of last month's meeting?
No corrections.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All approved, say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have been approved. Several cases today involve a request for an administrative office in one room of a residence. There are questions that the board usually asks of each applicant that serve to ensure that from the outside, no neighbor would know that the administrative functions are being performed. But to keep us from having to ask you each the same questions over and over, I'm going to kind of run through them, and then when your case is called, we'll make sure you understand them. One is, do you have employees? You can have employees, but they cannot report to your house for any reason unless they live with you at that address. They would have to meet you wherever your job site is. Do you have signs? Signs are permissible and can contain your name, telephone number, website address, social media, but cannot contain your street address. Customers cannot come to your home to place orders, pick up orders, etc. Storage of inventory and supplies. We will ask several of you about that due to the nature of your businesses, but you're limited to what a normal household would have. And then deliveries to your home. They should be limited to normal couriers like FedEx, UPS, post office, not 18-wheelers showing up on your residential street to deliver a load of things. That said, please call the first case.
Case number 1, application appeal of Brian Ramirez for termination as use permitted on appeal section 2510 of the zoning ordinance to have an administrative office for a home remodeling business located at 741 Kenilworth Road Southwest. Property is located in the R2 Single Family Zoning District.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And you can pull that up so it's closer to you.
Brian Ramirez. I'm doing residential work.
State your address too.
941 Kenilworth Road, Southwest, Decatur, Alabama.
And tell us what you would like us to do for you today.
I would like to get your approval to have a business license out of my house.
Like, what you're asking us for is to be able to use one room in your house to do your administrative work for
okay.
that business. Which
Okay.
is separate than you getting your license, but,
All right. Yeah,
you heard all the questions about
Yes,
employees, signs, you understand all of that?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we are streaming live, through YouTube, so if there are questions from the public that aren't here today, they can be emailed to bozaquestions@decatur-al.gov. Are there questions from the board for Mr. Ramirez?
You say this is a home remodeling
Yeah,
business?
residential work.
Residential?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a trailer or how do you get your
Apparently
equipment?
not. I don't have a trailer at the
Okay.
time.
And storage of your equipment and tools, and
Yeah, we use a garage.
just your garage?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
No questions. You go through the usual, right?
Mm-hmm.
The signs on your car and stuff like that, yeah.
All right, comments from the public? I don't know how much time we have left on our, I didn't hit my timer. Comments from the building department?
No comment.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, offer motion for the approval for Mr. Ramirez to use one room in his home for an administrative office.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Charles Taylor,
Yes.
Charles Stevens,
Yeah.
Susanna Salcido,
Yes.
Elaine Dean,
Yes.
Stephen Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez. You have been approved.
Oh, he gave it to her.
Oh, sorry. You're good.
She threw it over there, you didn't even see it.
We're gonna get out of here quickly.
Make up for that, too. Please call the next case.
Case number 2, application and appeal on the lawn for a determination as a use permit on appeal, section 2510 of the zoning ordinance to have administrative office for online sales for miscellaneous products at 1212 Fremont Street Southwest. Property is located at, in a R2 single-family zoning district. Ms. Milan?
Milo.
Milan?
Yolanda Milo.
All right, we will move that one to the end and call it again before we go home. Please call case number 3.
Application appeal of Cordell Clay for determination of use permit on appeal, section 2510 of the zoning ordinance to have an administrative office for a fence business located at 302 12th Avenue Northwest. Property is located in an R3 single-family zoning district.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? State your name and your address and what you would like us to do.
My name is Cordell Clay, address 302 12th Avenue Northwest, and I'm requesting permission for to run one room as an office outside of my house for a small fencing company.
Questions from the public not located in this room can be addressed to BOZA questions at decatur-al.gov. Questions from the board?
Mr. Clay, you say the property owner where you live is a Harold Payne.
Yes, sir.
Is he aware that you're gonna,
Yes, sir. He has approved everything.
fantastic, thank you.
And you heard and understood all my comments at the beginning about employees and signs?
Yes,
and-
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where will you store your, like when you're doing a fencing job, will you have it shipped to the location?
No, all material gets shipped to the job.
Okay.
I don't keep no material at my house.
Okay, just your tools?
Yes,
and-
ma'am.
Do you have a trailer?
I'm in the process of buying a trailer.
Okay, just a standard,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, which is fine. Again, something that you could have on your own, you know?
Yes,
not a
ma'am.
huge-
Just an average size trailer. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions from the board?
No question.
Any comments from the public? Bob, are you checking the email?
Yeah, I ain't got anything.
Okay. Comments from the building department?
How you plan on advertising?
Internet, and I got signs
Signs?
and business cards,
What kind of signs?
like yard signs and door decals
Where you gonna put the yard signs at?
in the yard.
In the yards, in the yards of clients?
Huh?
In yards of clients?
No, in my yard.
Well, you can't have them in your yard.
Can't have no signs? Okay. I mean, I can put some in clients.
No, you have signs on your car, basically saying this is defense, but you can't have yard signs in the yard saying this is a business here.
Okay.
And you can't put signs out on the corner, you can't put.
I don't
nail-
have any right now.
Yeah, can't
in the
nail them
yard.
to telephone poles, you put them out just in random places all throughout town.
But I can't have one on my
You can-
car.
You can have one in your car, and wherever you do work at, you
Right.
can put a yard sign saying, we're performing work here,
Right.
but after 10 days, it's gotta go away.
Okay.
And it's gotta be those little, like the election signs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the sign, again, like our chairman said, it cannot have your street address. It
Right.
can have your phone number and other contact information, but not your street address.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Any other comments from the building department?
That's it.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second?
Please call the roll.
Carlos Stevens.
Yes.
Susanna Salcido.
Yes.
Elaine Dean.
Yes.
Stephen Thomas.
Yes.
Charles Taylor.
Yes.
There you go.
You have been approved.
Alright. Case number 4, application and appeal of Timothy S. Cunningham for determination of the use permit on appeal, section 2510 of the zoning ordinance, to have administrative office for a lawn care business located at 602 Clearview Street Southwest. Property is located in the R2 Single Family District.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Take your name and address. And
Timothy F. Cunningham, address is 602 Clearview Street, Southwest, Decatur, Alabama. I'm asking for permission to use a room from office for my lawn care business that I'm trying to get together and everything. So I'm asking for approval from the board.
All right, public questions can be emailed to bozaquestions@decatur-al.gov. Were you here at the beginning to hear the
Yes.
questions about employees?
Yes,
and-
ma'am.
Okay. And much of what we asked the last case applies to you as far as where you're gonna keep your, do you have inventory, supplies, that kind of thing?
Well, I'm saying I have a storage building. I'm saying also I have a trailer too that I keep my ride lawnmower and my push mower, and I have locks and stuff, and
Okay.
so I keep everything secured and everything.
Standard size mowers and?
Yes, ma'am.
nothing
Yeah, no commercial mower, nothing like that.
huge? Okay. Questions from the board?
No questions.
Storage of gasoline, flammables. You're not planning on getting a 55-gallon drum of gasoline and anything like that, are you? Just the regular gas containers?
Yes, sir. I don't no sense. I mainly no sense. It will probably more likely just get gas as I go to like jobs or whatever.
As needed.
So
Okay.
Smart.
And also, you list Mr. Jim Morrill as the owner of the residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he aware
Yes, sir,
that
I'm
you're
sorry.
doing that?
Yes,
Is he
sir.
aware that you're doing this
yes, sir.
and has his permission?
Well, I'm saying I haven't. I contacted him. I'm saying I fill a little application thing out for him and everything, and he has no. I guess no problem with me doing it because
He's aware.
yes, because I'm saying I think if he wasn't aware of it, he wouldn't let me do it. So, I did everything I supposed to did on my application and stuff, and they supposed to contact him, whatever, and everything. So, I guess everything is a go.
Good.
Any other questions from the board? Questions or comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
You hear me talking about the signs?
Yes, sir.
Not putting them out, but just in your clients' yards, and then after 10 days, they can go away. Can't put them on the street, can't have them in your yard, can't nail them on telephone poles,
Yes, I was.
trees, just
Yeah, I was
wherever you're
planning.
doing business at, that's it. And then
Yeah, I
you
was
gotta
planning
fix it up.
on saying just to put a sign on side of my truck
Yeah, that's fine.
and just going to give me some business cards together and
Yeah,
just
but the little yard signs, can't put them out at the corners of the street,
no, sir.
nail them on telephone poles or anything like that. Okay, that's it.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I offer motion for the approval for Mr. Cunningham to use one room in his office, one room in his home for an office for his lawn care business.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Susanna Saucedo,
Yes.
Lane Dean,
Yes,
Stephen Thomas,
Yes.
Charles Taylor.
Yes.
Scott Stevens.
you have been approved.
Case number 5, application of an appeal of DeHondra Washington for determination as use permit on appeal, section 2510 of the zoning ordinance to have an online clothing boutique located at, an administrative office for online clothing boutique located at 2115 Central Parkway, Southwest. Property is located, apartment K, 13. Property is located in the R4 multifamily zoning district.
Hi, my name is Deandra Washington, and I
State your address. Your address.
2115 Central Parkway, Southwest Decatur, Alabama. I'm at K13. I'm trying to get the approval to use my apartment to ship out clothing. I have an online boutique and I sell men and women's clothing and accessories and stuff, and I ship them out to whoever orders. I have business cards. I do not have employees, but I do have models, and they only come when it's time for photo shoots and stuff. Like, they don't come to my residence or anything. We just go to the location and
that's
shoot,
fine.
That's all. I do advertise on Facebook, Instagram, and I am on the official Black app, which is a African American based app for promoting businesses.
Questions from the public can be sent to BOZA questions@decatur-al.gov. Questions from the board?
The storage of your clothing, you said that you basically sell, like you order and it comes to your house and then you just ship it out, or?
Yeah, they place the order through the website, or they can contact me directly, because currently the website is under construction, but they just tell me what they need, and this is actually one of my shirts. But
You're advertising now.
yeah. But they just tell me what they need, and I'll ship it out to them, and I use the post office.
Okay.
And Parkway Place Apartments is aware that you're doing this?
Yes,
Good.
she actually comes to me sometimes.
Good. Good. That's right.
They don't want to see an 18-wheeler coming to drop all that, that's basically.
Yeah, I understand that.
And you do need to keep it to one room in your apartment?
Yeah, it's just one room.
So when you get to the point you've got boxes and boxes and boxes, then you'll get a storefront somewhere.
That's what I'm aiming for.
You hired employees and signs and all of that from the beginning. Are there any other questions from the board?
No questions.
Comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
No comment.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Three seconds.
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Lane Dean,
Yes.
Stephen Thomas.
Yes.
Charles Taylor.
Yes.
Carl Stevens. Susanna Sazeta.
Yes. You have been approved. And I like your mask.
Yeah.
Very stylish. As stylish as masks can be. Please call case number 6.
Case 6, application appeal of Cecil Rodriguez for administrative, appeal of administrative decision from section 25.2.1 of the zoning ordinance to place a swimming pool on the side yard at 402 Bellmead Street Southwest. Property is located in an R2 single-family zone district.
My name is Cecilio Otamirano Rodriguez, and I'm coming across the board for completion of my polling.
Will you state your address for the record?
402 Bellmead Street, 35601.
Okay.
I have a property in the size that is real narrow between the patio and the neighbor's fence. And the inspector told me I can put it in there, but I can't fit it through there. It's only at 20 feet, and the pool's 15 feet. I had to have a 4 feet easement between me and my neighbor. There's no way I can fit it there. So I put it back a little bit in the corner of the house. My question is if you could consider for me to put fencing around it, any type of safety for the children to be added to it. I'm more than happy to do it, anything around it. If you have to do anything around the pool, like a deck and double fence around it for the safety of the children, I will do that, if you consider it for me to do it.
All right, questions from the public can be sent to BOZA questions@decatur-al.gov. Questions from the board?
What is the hardship that you have as far as placement of the pool?
The dimension? Some dimensions?
Now, why is this the only place that you can place your pool?
I don't have more room nowhere else. I called the utility, Spectrum Utilities, and they didn't let me put it on the other side because I had to be 10 feet off the power lines. So they sent me back to that corner.
Yeah, right here.
And I had a big tree down there. I removed that tree out of there to be able to put them in, and then that's the only way I can put it there.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got power lines running, don't they run up to this
I
corner?
removed part of the patio from there, the little walkway,
Yeah,
and they didn't let me put them in. He said, no, I can put them in, so I just put it back. And I had a tree on the other side, big tree, 6 foot around, dig them out, 10 foot down to the bottom because they don't want to have no roof showing. So I worked like 10 days to get the tree out. Then I called the inspection again. They went over there. They said, oh, you can put them in there. I mean, you got to be 4 feet from the corner back to the patio,
Yeah,
which
right
is
here.
no way I can fit it on that curve.
yeah,
I only have room this way, so I tell them I can put a fence from the corner back to the, straight from the corner, back to the neighbor's fence, 6 foot fence. Then it's the only opening I have, and I'm still gonna have 10 foot from the house to the pool, and 8 foot from my pool to the neighbor's house. So if I can still build a deck around it, I'm gonna have 4 feet clear before my neighbors, and 4-foot deck around the pool. I wanna make it pretty, I wanna make safety and pretty for my children, but that's not your call. I mean, I clean them out, I move all my bushes from there. I know I'm not gonna be able to do it, so I just started cleaning it before they give me the decision to not put it in.
Okay, you've done a lot of work, Mr. Rodriguez. Yes, sir. Sure have.
Does that answer your question about
Very much so.
hardship?
Thank you.
That's the only possible place it can go.
Yes.
What about the Salmon Road side?
this side, it's a double front yard setback. So this is considered to be his front yard, and this is considered to be his front yard.
Side yard.
So this is front and this is front. This is actually, you take a line right through here, this way is front yard. From here, this is front yard. This is the only side yard that he has. This is the rear yard, and he can't put it back here because of the power lines. DU won't let him place a pool here because of the power lines.
We had looked at that earlier today. I have
Yeah, will you come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Sheila Rivers, and I own the property at 404 Bellmead Street. It was my parents' property, and I'm trying to get it ready to sell. They are both deceased, and that is where he wants to build the pool, is right on the bedrooms. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want a pool inside my bedroom.
So noted. Any other questions from the board?
I had a question for Bob. I
Yep.
guess we didn't talk about the power lines. Is that considered a hardship or not?
Well, I mean, you can't put it there. It's nothing that the board could grant a variance on. It's just where the power lines are, and you can't have a pool that close to it's basically like an easement there for DU, more or less, and then you got a certain standoff you gotta have for power.
If it's bothering you, you got to put a fence up.
The
If you don't like to see
fence
myself, if you don't like to see myself from the side, I just put a fence up, 6-foot fence. You wanna
The
see-
fence is not going to block the noise from your pool when the people are out there playing in the pool. And if anybody works nights and sleeps during the day, I mean, it is literally, are you coming up to the shrubs that you cleared out at the front of at the side of your house, up to that front bedroom of your house, or what used to be the front bedroom? That is literally the size of bedrooms of the house, this property that I own also.
Bob, from the gutter back would actually be considered the backyard.
Right, from this little corner right here, you drew a straight line across, everything back that way is considered.
Still be very close to the property that you own. Yes, I mean, it's literally.
But, and that would be, though, he wouldn't even have to come here to get permission
Yeah.
to put it there. It's
Right.
just permission to move it up a
Right.
little bit to fit the size of the pool into,
Where he's at right there is a chain link fence that my parents erected years ago, many years ago. And the stake for that is like, it's 3 foot off the fence. And where it goes, where he will be moving all the way up to the back of those bushes where he cut out is literally beside the bedrooms. It will be, the pool would be 12 to 14 feet off the bedrooms.
All right, any more questions from the board?
Here's the only comment that I will have is that, with what we understand here, Mr. Rodriguez's property, the end of the corner of his lot would be in his backyard. And so the only thing that we are talking about here, even if that was, if he had a pool in his backyard, he would not be here. And if there was noise or what have you, that would be just noise and it would be nothing to discuss. So we're only talking about the portion of his pool that maybe would be going up in that other area is the discussion point.
I
that we
have
here.
pictures of that site
Yes,
right
ma'am.
there where
And
he has, if y'all would like to. And as you stated, I don't know who, that is the part that would be in the back behind the, so that's not, but where these bushes are, that's where his pool, from what I understand, is going. There is a stake right in here somewhere. And I have one of those that's marked with the stake. And that's what I questioned as to why it couldn't be put. This is the front. This is looking, his stake is right in this area somewhere, and then there's another one over on this side. This right here in front of that is the bedrooms to that house. And as you can see, it goes on up. And that's the back, because I questioned about the back. And that's the tree that he's left on my property without my permission. But this is, say, this is the fence, and it goes over to where those bushes are gonna be. And these are the 2 bedrooms that are on that side. And I marked it on here where you,
Let me give these to the board.
but this is the stake that's beside the fence. Let's see. This on this side is my property, and this is where he has cleared out from that tree. And his bushes are right up in this area. Right.
I guess the point I keep coming back to is if there was area in the backyard, it would still be just as close to your fence and to your property. It's not moving it, the relation to the property line is not changing, it's the relationship of how much is going into the side yard, because there's not enough room to go from the backyard line all the way back. I stated that correctly.
yeah, you did.
So either, if he had the area from the gutter back, it's still gonna be just as close to your property, and he wouldn't have to come here to
You
ask
mean
for
the
our
gutter
permission.
back on the back of his house?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah, if you took a line and drew it right across here, from this little point right here, drawing it that way, drawing it straight over to your property line,
well, see,
The
from,
pool would be-
I didn't go into his property to take these pictures. I took them from my
Right, no,
property
I'm
and
just
around
saying,
the house.
though,
So
it's-
there's bushes there, so I can't see this part, so to speak. But that, I believe, is where he
Yeah.
built his,
yeah, it's
fire
water.
pit.
Yeah, so if you,
In relation to the
so you see
property
this
line,
corner right here,
this doesn't change that.
if you was to draw a straight line right through here over to your property,
Uh-huh.
you could have a pool right here, from here
That
back.
would, well, that would be further back than
Yeah, it
what
would
I
be, it
understand
would
is-
be, he's wanting to get it up
He's-
here
Right.
because of this is in the way. of being able to put, you know, this is in the way of him being able to put the pool, as big as it is with the deck around it or whatever, all the way back up to where this
Right.
curves in and over to this property line.
Well, that-
Wherever, I guess it's right here.
Right.
So, that's what I'm saying, but if this house, and then we've talked about that, if this house was addressed off of Sandlin Road, you could put it right here, 5 foot off the property line.
Colin, some of those are the area where
He
you
has-
can't go.
He has
because
2 front
utilities.
yards,
Yeah, there's 2 front yards.
so if his address were on the Sandlin Road side, he could put that pool back there and wouldn't have to come here for any kind of approval.
But since it's addressed off of Bellmead,
He has
here's
2
where you
yards,
are.
really.
But if, I guess, you know, if he put his pool right here, oh, he won't be able to fit the pool right there. That's just the thing.
Not unless he tears down part of his patio.
I mean, it's a pretty good sized pool.
Right.
It'd be something similar to that. That's not it.
Right. Well, see, that was another concern, was if it's gonna be an above-ground pool, which that looks like what it's gonna be, that's gonna be sitting up also.
So if it's above ground pool and the pool's 4 feet deep and he's saying he'll put up a 6-foot fence and that's gonna be a 10-foot structure there that you won't see. You wouldn't see over that 10-foot structure.
Well, like I said, I want to be able to sell this property when I get done remodeling it also. That's my biggest concern too.
Now, what he won't be able to do is get closer than 5 feet to your property line. It can't be any closer than 5.
That one stake that he's got is 3 foot off my fence.
Yes, well, he won't be able to get closer than 5 feet to the property line, wherever the property line's at, whether how close it is to that fence, whether it's right on it or off of it or whatever. That's what this right here is for. We're gonna measure 33 feet, 0.3 feet that way. That's the property line.
I have 8 foot clear from the stake to the property line. It's 33 feet from the house to the.
Yeah, it's 33 feet from right there to right there. And that's what we're gonna do. We're
As
gonna
long as
measure
you're
that
within
over,
5 feet,
and then we're gonna measure
I got
back
8 foot off of it, so
5 feet, and at that point, he
That
can,
includes the deck, or is that before you build your deck?
it's the pool, to the pool, 8 feet to the pool.
Okay.
It's 10 feet from the house.
right, so you gotta be 5 feet away from the property line with all structure, deck or whatever, other than the fence. The fence is the only thing that could be on the property line. Right.
Narrow around that side or move a foot
Definitely,
closer to the
I can't
house?
put on the other side.
So that, that's all the way around, there's no doors on that side. On his house,
Yeah, there wouldn't be people coming out. They'd all come out from the patio
Right.
over here.
I guess I'm thinking more visual with kids, because with kids, you want a visual also. Or I would,
Yeah.
which
I
that's
mean,
not a,
What I hear him say, he's willing to, put up a fence, put up a deck. I get it, I have a pool. Mine is not noisy, I have neighbors with pools that have little kids and they are noisy.
right.
But it's also noisy when people
I know
have
he
little
has
kids.
teenagers, because we've had noise problems there at night, the neighbors have.
My neighbors would probably tell you I have noisy teenagers too.
well,
Well, let's put it this way, when they were hearing them to the belt line.
that's
In the other area too.
That's
so
not relevant
it's
to the
just-
case at hand.
Right.
But I have heard him say he would, put up a fence. Looking at your patio, I assume you're gonna make your pool look just as nice as the other things you have built. I mean, you understand, your neighbors not wanting it to be an eyesore, and not wanting it to
Well.
be a nuisance.
And improves property.
that's the way it used to.
I will put a little buffer on the side, some planting, so she doesn't see much of the fence in the back of her house. I'll make that section in the corner nicer, so she cannot see the fence. Oh, make sure it's good, like, she can give me the information. I don't want to bother her property, I'm doing it for my children, start something for kids, but I said, you have to.
Right.
I'll make sure that it's taken care of.
And I will say, it being an above-ground pool, it can be, you know, if he were to sell this property to someone else, they can make it go away. As opposed to an in-ground pool that's gonna be there for forever. All right, are there any other comments from the board?
No comment.
No comments here.
No comments.
Any other questions or comments from the public? Comments from the building department?
No comments.
Comments from the planning department? Public testimony is now closed. There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, offer motion for the approval for Mr. Rodriguez to place a swimming pool on his side yard.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the
Are
roll.
they set back as far as possibly feasible to set it back?
Yeah, we're gonna squeeze, he's gonna, before he starts construction of it, we'll come out and figure out exactly, we're gonna measure off and say, here's where it's gotta be, this is the furthest point it's gotta be away from the property line, which is at least 5 feet from the property line. And then he's gotta get it at least enough where he can get his deck in front of it. He may not have to be able to put one behind it, but we're gonna work with that to get it as farther away as we possibly can. In as much as the zoning ordinance will allow, other than it just being in the side yard. Because if you, like I said, if it was addressed off of this road here, it could be 5 foot off that property line, just in the rear. And that's what originally what it was thought it was, but it's not, it's off of Bell Mead. So that changed the circumstances, where he at least has to come and ask for permission, and at this point it becomes a little more involved with us to make sure that it's suitable for its location.
So Mr. Rodriguez would only be held to the ordinances that the city has. Is that?
Right,
That's
right.
what you're sharing. You're not saying that you're going to force him to do anything like placing it somewhere.
Well, we're gonna look at where it's at and make sure that the ordinance says it's gotta be at least 5 foot off the property line
Exactly.
for an accessory structure.
I think Bob was trying to clarify from the distance from the deck, you know, to
Yeah, to the
fence.
property lines, and then
Okay.
he's going to be able to adjust that to get it in the proper.
Suitable for him.
Suitable for him,
Understood.
right,
Thank you.
Which we talked about, you may have to put a 3-foot deck or
right.
move closer to the house, but y'all will guarantee all of that.
Yeah, we're
Y'all
gonna make sure it's
ensure
sitting,
that-
we're gonna make sure it's sitting in the right place, and it's gonna meet, the deck has a building code it's gotta meet, and the pool's got a building code it's gotta meet, so all that's gonna be met.
Understood.
And then he said that he was willing to build a privacy fence.
Yeah. I should have, they have a survey, and the survey, when I had the survey done for my house, I put the pin, they put the pin on both sides. The fence is in a foot in my property. And I remove it, I leave it like this. I shoot the string line, when they set the fence up,
Yeah,
the fence been built in my property, 1 foot. And I leave it like it was,
yeah,
because the daddy or whoever was in there, it's not meant, so I leave it alone. I won't move it, I shouldn't move it back.
Yeah, you
But
still.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Good neighbors, we're good neighbors. I have nothing to move it, I leave it like it was, I leave it like it is. I'm not planning to move the fence like they're going back 10 foot. I'm gonna leave it like it is.
Right.
I'm pushing myself back to my house.
yeah.
You know
But
what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
I wouldn't. If Mr. Rodriguez, of course, we got a motion on the floor, I'll be quiet. But if Mr. Rodriguez has a situation, you know, and the property line, and he understands what's going on here, Mr. Rodriguez is being nice by leaving the fence there. He could move the fence over and use up whatever yard he had to use, but again, he's a homeowner.
the 1 foot,
Yeah,
I should, I put a straight line across it, and throw 1 foot in there.
okay. Anyway, we got a motion on the
I
floor.
had a good neighbor, so I won't
Yeah.
move it.
All right, any additional comments from the board? All right, we have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Stephen Thomas,
Yes.
Charles Taylor,
Yes.
Carl Stevens, Susanna Silcedo,
Yes.
Elaine Dean.
Yes.
All right.
You approve, Mr. Rodriguez.
Where are we at?
You have been approved.
Yes.
Does he need anything from us?
No, he'll just, when you get your guy ready to build your pool, call us.
We'll take it.
We'll come out and take a look at what you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Okay. Case number 7, application to appeal of Thomas Strong for an administrative decision of the building official to have using a detached garage at 123 Haymaker Street Southwest. Property is located in the R1 Single Family Zoning District. Mr. Strong.
We got the sergeant at arms, way to go.
All right, we will call that one again.
All right.
Call
Case number 8, application appeal of Kathy Denmark for a 5-foot rear yard setback variance from section 2510.92D in order to construct a master bathroom at 2732 Longfellow Drive Southwest. Property located in a R2 single family zone district.
Kathy Denmark, 2732 Longfellow Drive. I'm asking for a variance.
Rear setback.
Five-foot variance.
You're adding on to the existing bathroom. Remodeling it. Will you pull up that
Yeah.
Google picture? Your bathroom on the left-hand side of the house? Fourth man, I guess that corner. We were trying to look at,
The bathroom I have now is small, wheelchair compliant.
Understood.
Is this house here, isn't it? This one?
yes.
Yes. Yeah, it took the tree out, okay.
But that, where he's got the mouse is where
Yes.
the existing bathroom that you're adding on to.
Yes.
You're not building a completely new bathroom, you're just adding on to the one that's there.
Understood.
I'm actually going to gut that bathroom that's in there. ADA compliant for wheelchair accessibility.
Okay.
Really what you're asking for will not stick out much, if any, further than your neighbor to the left. Because they have that same pop out, theirs just pops out a little further. Keeping the same side dimensions.
Yeah.
Just going out,
Just to make it to where it's,
just 5
What you
feet.
need. Understood. Gotcha.
Right.
Understood.
You know about how far back you will be adding, an addition will be, so you're going out 17 feet from the back of the current bathroom. Okay.
But it just needs 5 feet to cover.
Well,
5
whatever.
feet
Yeah,
plus
5
whatever
feet to
the
get the
allowance
rear.
is.
Yes, it's, whatever it is, she just needs an additional
Correct.
5. So we don't talk about
Yeah,
the
they
5
allow
feet.
the 13, I believe.
Yeah.
12, I was told at the building department, told us 13, and then we needed an additional 5.
Correct.
Turning radius for the wheelchair.
Sure.
The DA requires that if I use the next, that they can allow me to make my home wheelchair accessible.
Correct.
For a veteran, my husband's a veteran. Then I have to have that distance to make the turn to the rear of the drive.
We're good. We're good. I'm good.
No other questions?
Any other questions from the board?
No questions.
I did not state those questions at decatur-al.gov. I guess we'll wait a minute to make sure nobody emails any questions in, but, comments from the building department?
No comments.
Comments from the planning department? No. All right, because I didn't state that earlier, we're gonna wait the required minute just to see if anybody emails anything in. Okay, that's close to a minute. Any other comments from the board or the public?
No comment?
There being no further comments, this appeal is presented to the board for its ruling. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the application.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Charles Taylor?
Yes.
Carl Stevens? Yes. Susanna Salcedo?
Yes.
Glenn Dean?
Yes.
Stephen Thomas?
Yes.
You have been approved.
You just need to get your builder to get with Randy or John or whoever you talk to. Right. All right, we're back to case number 2, application to Yolanda Milan. Well, you say they was here?
No, she called, that lady that told me
Oh,
what the notice says.
oh, okay, well, being as that she's, so she wants us to call?
Oh, no, she just called the clerk's office to let them know that why she was not here.
But she didn't say she wanted us to call her?
Anything else. They can read it, put the call.
Do we want to try to call her?
Yes, table it until next month.
Yeah, let's table it to next month, that way we can give her a call and see if she wants to proceed with the,
In the form of a motion, I move that we table this until next month.
Do I have a second? Second to move
No,
case number 2?
Second, sorry.
Do we vote?
okay.
Please call the roll.
Carl Stevens?
Yes.
Susanna Cicero?
Yes.
Elaine Dean?
Yes.
Stephen Thomas?
Yes. It's like I can't.
Charles
remember
Taylor.
the whole name. I'm
Yes.
All right, that is approved to move and recall
And then
number 7.
Stephen, Thomas Strong, Thomas Strong. See anybody, Thomas Strong? Let's go outside, make sure ain't nobody.
Okay.
She forgot her pictures. All right, you'll have a motion to dismiss case number 7. Do I need a motion?
Motion to dismiss due to failure to appear.
Can we do a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Charles Taylor?
Yes.
Carl Stevens? Yes. Susanna Salcedo?
Yes.
Elaine Dean?
Yes.
Stephen Thomas?
Yes.
Any other business to be discussed? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Madam Chair, I'll motion that we adjourn to the next month.
Any opposed to that motion? Speak now and enjoy your seat.
Mark, but still, I wouldn't cut, she looked like she was struggling a little bit, and that's why I said that I had seen enough, and I wasn't saying trying to really jump you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Her drawings and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna look at them anyways.
Yes, she's been.
We just need to 5